Well, hello everyone. My name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm a guy who just talks about movies and all things Blu-ray. So today, we're actually talking about something very special and a little bit sad as well. We are seeing the end of Twilight Time, which is a boutique label that I'm sure many of you who are already watching this already know what Twilight Time is and already aware that they just had their final sale. So with the news of them closing, they had a 50% off sale of sorts, more or less a closing out sale. Some of their titles a little bit more than 50% off, and I wanted to share with you all of the titles that I picked up. But I would like to share some good news with you all about Twilight Times. It looks like that Screen Archives Entertainment have picked up the rights not too long ago on May 14th, I believe, to all of their back catalog and titles. So that means that there might be some kind of future for their titles, who knows, on streaming, but also maybe the rights go over to other companies. That's really exciting. But also, it's really sad, like I said, that Twilight Times is gone. I've always had an eye out for Twilight Time and their films, but a lot of their stuff is out of print all the time. All the things that I really wanted were always out of print, so I really never bit the bullet. But with this closing out sale, unfortunately, I finally picked up a few titles. Now, I would like to share with you 5 titles that I picked up, so here we go. All right, so the first title that I picked up is a little controversial. When I say a little, I mean a lot of controversial. It's probably the most controversial film that I have in my collection now that I own it, and that is D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. Now, this came out in 1915 and was a big time propaganda film for the Klan, the KKK, if you're not familiar. This is a terrifying organization, and this film is more or less a pseudo-documentary / fiction that exists. Now, I would like to say that I am picking this up more or less for a historical purpose. I want to see the production design, the cinematography, really just a lot of the camera work and a lot of the stuff that this film had in the later years after this film being made has influenced when it comes to those particular production qualities. Now, like I said before, I'm not super pumped about the story, but I would still like to watch this just more or less for historical purposes. So yeah, I picked up Birth of a Nation. It's a controversial one, and let me know down in the description down below if this was a good idea or not, but here we go. We're going to move on from here to a film noir. So moving right along to 1952, we have Don't Bother to Knock, which is a film noir starring Marilyn Monroe, and I'm really excited to watch this. It also stars Richard Widmark and is directed by Roy Baker. And he also has accompanying with him in his cinematography department, Lucien Ballard, who he works with on The Wild Bunch and the film that I talk about next after this one. But I'm really excited about this noir. I've heard this is a really good early dramatic role for Marilyn Monroe, and so I'm just really excited to check it out. But tell me down below if you've seen this one. I'm really excited to knock on this one, and I won't be bothered by it. That was really lame. Let's move on from that one to Inferno, another Roy Baker work. This also with Lucien Ballard as the cinematographer. And this movie is right after Don't Bother to Knock. It's 1953, so it's literally the year after it. And this one's actually a Western. And I've actually been on a Western kick. I've been watching a lot of Howard Hawks, and I've also even been watching some Robert Altman, so maybe some of the anti-Westerns, you know. But I've been in a Western mood, and so I picked this up with full intent to see this amazing Death Valley film, where I've heard that this is like a survival film for Robert Ryan, who is the star in this movie, and he is just stranded out in the desert trying to survive. So I'm excited to check out this one as well. So let's move on from there to the 80s. All right, going from the 50s to the 1980s to a spy thriller, Eye of the Needle. We have Donald Sutherland, and this is based on Ken Follett's bestseller, Eye of the Needle, the book. It also stars Kate Nelligan, Christopher Kalinov, I hope I said that correctly, and also Richard Marquand. And so I'm just excited to check out this World War II spy thriller all the way set in Scotland. It's really isolated, and so that's what I'm really excited about, is that Donald Sutherland is a spy for the Nazis, and he is set on this island. So I really don't know much else about that, but I'm just, it's really exciting to check this one out. All right, so the last film is another controversial one, at least in the director department, but this is actually a fun one and a funny film that I actually watched years ago, actually, and that is Zelig. And this is Woody Allen's Zelig. So this came out in 1983, and this is a very creative, very creative film. I have only seen a few Woody Allen films, most of them his modern interpretations like Midnight in Paris, and I've even seen Annie Hall. But I also saw Zelig a couple years back, and I was really impressed by the documentary / fiction element about this movie, and it's really funny. Woody Allen puts himself in a lot of historical contexts and just kind of edits himself into all of these different situations, and it's just a really funny and also kind of social commentary on stardom and identity. And so I'm really excited to check out this movie once again. But so yeah, those are the picks that I picked up from Twilight Times. I got Zelig, Eye of the Needle, Inferno, Don't Bother Knocking, and Birth of a Nation. I'm really excited to own these Twilight Time films, and I hope that you were able to pick up some as well with this sale. Like I said, unfortunate news, but we have some movies to talk about, and so I'm really excited to check out more of their catalog if I can ever get my hands on it again, because like we said, this is all going away. So what did you pick up during this Twilight Time sale? Did you pick up anything? Would you like to have picked up something? I want to hear down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, hit that notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.